Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to day number 17 of the BCR Technique 30-day challenge. Again, we're still going strong here. Still getting, again, an amazing amount of results from the BCR Technique from a group setting. And again, like I said, you can check out the Telegram group. The link is in the video description. You can also check out the PDF attachments for the BCR Technique bare bones and the TC Technique as well too. So again, feel free to join the free Telegram, I can't say Telegram today, the free Telegram group that is available for BCR Technique 30-day challenge. And again, you can join an amazing community. A lot of people are helping each other out there. A lot of people are sharing their success stories through the BCR Technique as well too. So please be a part of it. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening everybody to who is here. Thank you. Good to see you all here on the top chat. Someone says, I have to borrow Brad's earmuffs as the guys upstairs have been drilling all week. Well, these are kind of earmuff-like, but they're actually pretty good. They're pretty good at sound canceling as well too. Sometimes I have a couple days ago I had a person with a lawnmower going pretty crazy with their front yard. It was pretty loud. So fortunately I had these, and it helps. It certainly does. Anyways, thank you guys once again for being here. So for day number 17 today, we're going to be looking into the extension healing for the BCR technique. So I'm going to be showing this more thoroughly through the whiteboard here. And so when I'm talking about extension healing, we're going to start looking into, you could say, the roots of yourself, right? So when we have been doing the BCR technique from day one, we're really looking into your own physical, emotional, and mental well-being. So we are working to repair the physical, emotional, and mental bodies. That has really been our focus since day one. Or you could say day zero, of course, where you're just getting ready. We're learning about the breath and learning about calmness. But that's really our areas, right? So we have the notepad here, and we're writing down what we're going through physically, emotionally, and mentally. And for those of you who have been doing the BCR technique since day one, since this whole challenge has started, you should pretty much be pretty good with that now, right? Being able to really work with the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and then again, we're bringing love energy directly into our body through the BCR technique process. Okay, so now we're going to go to a little bit more of an advanced level. Now again, if you're still going through the BCR technique, still working with these, then I would suggest still continuing with those. Okay, still continuing with working with your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body. We're not clearing that away in any means. But what we are doing now is we're just going to start going into more extensions of ourselves. So don't be in a hurry to do this extension of healing if you feel you still have a lot more work that you have to take care of for yourself. Okay, so this right here is priority. We want to make sure that we're still working on this, and once this starts to soften a lot more, then we can move into extension healing. Okay, so what do I mean when I talk about extension healing? Well, we're basically looking at things more in our own inner child, you could say, right? We're looking at old traumas. And in order for us to understand that, we need to, again, create a notebook. Okay, so we have a notepad, which is fine. Or if you want to still use your tablet, your phone, that's fine. But this is where we're going to do a lot more meditative work, right? We want to go back into the greater roots of our past, right? So here's you as the center point, and you're just looking at your extensions. Okay, so you're looking at your childhood, you're looking at your teenage years, you're looking at your young adult years, depending upon how old you are and who I'm talking to through this video. But you're just looking at these extension points. We want to actually discover great challenges, great hardships, great traumas that we have been through in the past, or what we term as the past, and we're going to start tackling them. So it's not just about what you're feeling presently, right? This is really what the BCR technique has helped with, is basically what you're presently going through, right? So you're presently going through some physical pains. You're presently going through emotional challenges with life as current events. Same thing with mental blockages as well, too. But now, as we start to soften these areas, we want to go into these extensions. We want to go into these traumas, right? So what happened when you were a child? Was there anything traumatic? Was there anything extremely intense that was taking place? I would say 9 out of 10 of you would say, oh yeah, most definitely. And that's what we want to work with, right? We want to just be able to work with what we are able to recall, right? Because I do get some people saying, Brad, I don't really recall a lot of my childhood. That's fine. And you don't have to. Only recall with what you remember, right? Only work with what you recall, with what you are familiar with. Do not concern about the nature of, maybe I have to go to hypnosis, maybe I have to do some deep mental training in that way. You certainly can if you want, but just stay with what you do recall, because as time progresses, you'll be a lot more aware of new issues that are coming up. This is why we get triggered in many different ways. The triggering that we get is actually quite a benefit, because it's helping us to recall certain events in the past, right? We may hear a conversation, we may watch a show, right? We may be driving, listening to a radio, whatever it may be, and something comes up, something clicks, and say, oh my God, I remember this. Oh my God, I remember this. And I did not remember it before, right? That's how the universe works. The universe will always work together in helping us to remember things that we're looking to clear away, that we're looking to make peace with, that we're ready to dissolve away and now substitute with love energy. All right? So just have the universe work together with you. Let spirit be with you together in this beautiful alliance, this beautiful harmony between yourself, between love energy, between spirit, and you will be able to recall a lot of these things. Okay? But for right now, just work with what you feel you're aware of. Just be aware of how you feel, like when you're tapping into meditation, when you're going deeply into yourself, when you're going much more into the core of your own being. What dwells there? Okay, if I say the words childhood, or teenager, or adult, okay, what comes up? What comes up in your childhood? I may have had a very, very abusive childhood, right? So there may be a lot of abuse there, okay? That's something we need to tackle in extension healing, right? As a teenager, I felt a lot of rejection, okay? That too needs to be tackled. As an adult, felt a lot of feelings of abandonment, people leaving me behind, feeling like I was on my own, I had no one to turn to, okay? So you're noticing I'm talking about the 3 traumas here. Abandonment, rejection, abuse. Okay? Very common. So we want to look into the themes that these traumas represent. Okay? So if I was abused by my parents, okay, what was happening? What was the situation? Right? You don't have to go and deeply immerse yourself into it, but you're just being aware of these things, right? How did you feel? Right? I felt anger. I felt sadness. I felt a lot of hurt. I felt a lot of pain. Okay? So we got to tackle all of those things. So it's no more different than what you're using here with your pad. Okay? So you're just starting off and writing down, okay, here's things that happened to me when I was a young kid. I would say between 3 to 6 years old, right? This is what I remember, okay? And you're just putting it down through those 3 categories. Physical body, emotional body, mental body, okay? What happened? You don't have to go into great detail. Again, we're not paying too much attention to the story, but we're just looking into what took place, what happened, what did you experience? Was there anger? Was there sadness? Was there fear? Right? And you're just looking into. It's kind of like you're just taking a paragraph, right, about what happened, and you're just taking out the key words that represent emotional hardship, that represent maybe physical problems, that represent mental problems, whatever it may be, mental blocks, belief systems. That's really what we're looking for. That's the filter. So as we go into the filter, we're now looking back at the younger child that we are, and we're helping to heal that younger child, right? So that is one of the big extensions here. Okay, this is just the beginning, right? When we're looking at the next few days ahead, this is where there's going to be a lot more advanced, intense, emotional, mental, physical healing that is going to be done through the BCR technique, okay? Because you're going to go back into your past, right? You're going to go back into these other timelines, okay? So really that's all you're doing. What I would suggest is that you're also just kind of doing a spiral as you're going into meditation, okay? So this is kind of like looking at one circle of a spiral being 1 year, and then another loop of the spiral being 2 years, and another loop of the spiral being 3 years. So I want you to go back in time utilizing the geometry of the spiral, okay? This is where you're basically just closing your eyes, right? You're getting into heart rate variability, right? We want to get ourselves into a subtle state, and you're just using your finger. And one counterclockwise revolution loop of the spiral equals 1 year. Okay, and I just want you to continue to do that until you feel something. As you feel something, you're just tapping into it and just getting an impression of what it represents. Okay, so I did 2 loops, so there's something here regarding something that happened 2 years in the past. And it was something in regards to a very large argument, let's say. Okay, I was very hurt, I feel like I had an affair or something like that, whatever took place. An argument ensued, and what was the feelings, right? How did you feel, right? What took place here? What emotional triggers came out of this, okay? So again, we want to make sure we have information that corroborates with the 3 bodies: your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body. That's all we're looking for. We don't have to go deep into the story, okay? So I said, yeah, I was hurt, I was abused, I felt a lot of pain, I felt angry. Good, we're getting all this down, okay? So we're using the idea of the spiral, the geometry of the spiral, just to go back in time, okay? And again, we're going into heart rate variability. We're going into the subtle state. Like I said, we're not looking at it like this, okay? We're not looking at it in active calmness. We're going into subtle state calmness. And then we're doing the spiral. 1, 2, 3. And as soon as you feel something, you stop, okay? So you can say the spiral years out loud. Okay, let's try that together, all right? I'm not going to give the full demonstration, but let's just say again, we are doing the heart rate variability, okay, and we're going right into calmness. Okay, and I want you just to take your finger, and you're just moving the spiral. Okay, 1 spiral loop equals 1 year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say, for example, I get something at the 5th year. Okay, so this goes back 5 years. Okay, and I remember that there's an argument with a partner, for example, or there's a fight with my boss, and I felt really, really aggravated by this. I felt frustrated. I felt upset, right? This is great. We got all of this emotional entanglement happening here. So we want to list that out emotionally. Okay, was there anything physical with your body that was going on? Were you feeling any pain, any discomfort? I felt a lot of tightness in my chest, okay? So I want to put that down in the notepad, okay? So when you are observing this memory, what happened to you physically? What happened to you emotionally? What happened to you mentally, okay? So that's what we're looking into. And it doesn't have to be exclusive in that order, but as long as we're getting information relating to the 3 bodies, okay? Emotionally, I felt upset, I felt angry, I felt apprehensive, I felt like I couldn't trust anybody, okay? Well, if you felt you couldn't trust anybody, that's a belief system, right? So that goes under mental body, okay? I felt a tightness in my chest, I felt like it was hard to breathe, okay? That's a physical body. So this is what we're doing, is we're just getting data relating to what can go under the 3 categories of the physical, the emotional, and the mental. And we're just using the spiral as a convenience to helping us go back. And as soon as we feel something, it's just that slight fluctuation. There's like a fluctuation you feel, there's a flutter, there's a trigger, right? And you stop, okay? If you lose track of where you are, that's okay, right? This is why I say you just count the years out loud, right? So you go 1, 2, 3, okay, stop. Okay, I'm at year 3 here. And now what's taken place, okay? So you can describe the situation to you But again, all we're looking to do is get the physical, emotional, and mental data out of that situation. That's it. That's all we want. We're not attached to the story. So, oh, why did I do that? How could I? You're attaching too much to the story. It's not what we're doing. Okay? We're just looking at this as a witness, as an observer that exists through our memory, and we're being able to tackle the emotions, the mental situation, the physical body, right? Maybe nothing happens with the physical body. Maybe you feel okay. Just put a line through it. It's all right. The physical body is okay. Emotionally, how are you feeling, right? I felt distraught. I felt frustrated. I felt angry. Okay, great. That's what we need to put into the emotional column, okay? How about belief systems? How did you feel? How did you feel about the world, right? And that's a very good question to ask yourself. In this state, in this situation, how do you feel about the world? I feel like it sucks. I feel like I'm betrayed. I feel like I can't trust anybody. Great. That's what we need to know, right? So really, when you're looking at the mental body, it's like looking at your environment. What do you think of the environment? What do you think of the world when you're in this state, right? So if you get a little bit struggled with the mental body and you're not too sure what to put, you ask yourself that question. How do I feel about the environment right now, where I am? How do I feel about the world right now, where I am, right? What's confining me? What's restricting me? Okay? And then we're putting that down. That's the mental body, okay? So that's really what we're doing. We're just doing this introduction today, just kind of getting you guys the feeling of that. In the next couple of days, we're going to be looking more into deeper degrees of the extension healing. Okay, we're going to be looking at family. We're going to be looking at friendships, again, old situations as well too, and giving examples so that we know what to clear out and how to do it through the BCR technique. And like I said, it's really just almost the same game here, relating to what you have been doing through the BCR technique. The only thing that we've added here is the spiral, okay? So this is your memory spiral, which I'll term it as that. Okay, you're using your memory spiral to go back in time. Now you can also use the spiral, should you want, that can be depicted through months or years, okay? You could also use it for weeks if you want. You could use it for days. It's up to you. What I would suggest is if we're going deeper into the past, we want to use it as a yearly spiral, okay? Just as I was saying, 1, 2, 3, okay? So when you're seeing me move my finger here, I'm going counterclockwise, okay? I'm going backwards in time, right? Time flows in a clockwise direction through this example of a spiral. So we're going in a counterclockwise direction, okay? Counterclockwise. And then we're just counting back the years. All right, if you want to do days, weeks, or months, that's up to you. Okay, it's your spiral. So again, this is just referred to as the memory spiral. And we're just going into heart rate variability. We're going into the subtle state, going low idle. Okay, we're nice and calm. Right, so you basically just do the breath work and the calmness, using heart rate variability, getting yourself into that state of subtle calmness. All right. Now we're using the spiral, because if I cannot remember certain things, I'll go with the spiral, okay? And now that I'm in that subtle state of being, I'm a lot more receptive. I'm a lot more open with spirit, right? So I'll get that feeling. The trick is being able to catch yourself when you feel something, okay? That feeling can be very, very subtle, or it can be very, very strong. It just depends on the person, okay? This is why I cannot really give you guys generic advice, because every single one of you are different. Every single one of you are unique. Right? I cannot give you a generic advice about what works best for everybody. Everybody has their own means here. You may see a vision, all right? You may hear a voice. You may, again, just get a subtle flash. You may just get this big impression, okay, stop, hold the brakes, right? Slam on the brakes, wait right here, because there's something here you need to look at, okay? But that's all we're doing, is we're just drawing out a counterclockwise spiral, and as soon as we finish a loop, we count it out. 1, 2, 3, okay? So count it out loud if you can, all right? You're in your private space. You should have no problem with being able to hear your own voice. I would like you to try and count it out loud, not in your mind, okay? Count it out loud, all right? So that's really what I wanted to go over with you guys today, okay? Is just looking over this just as an overview, just as an introduction, all right? And like I said, we're going to tackle a lot more tomorrow, but today this is just giving you a benchmark, a head start, into looking into this. And like I said, we want to make sure that we have a notebook, a notepad handy, a tablet, your phone, whatever it may be, just to document these things. Okay, if you feel you need to, just write out the situation, right? Some people are not able to really just go right into the filter and say, okay, this is what I'm experiencing emotionally, this is what I'm experiencing physically, this is what I'm experiencing mentally. If you feel you need to write out the entire situation, say, yes, I was at a park and I had this argument with my next door neighbor, right? We had a big fight. So you're writing all this out, right? Create a paragraph. This is the event, okay? But you're not getting attached to the situation. You're looking at it no more different than how a journalist would, okay? You're looking at it from a journalist's point of view. This is what happened. This is what took place, okay? Because if we start getting deeply involved with it, now we start to bring those feelings back into ourselves in the present moment, and that's just putting a lot more gunk into ourselves when we're working to clear a lot of this out, right? So keep yourself in observation. Keep yourself as the journalist, right? The journalist is just looking at this, and again, we're just describing the situation as it's happening. Okay, there's the full paragraph. Now that you've done the full paragraph, what is it that represents the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body? Okay, and we're taking those chunks out of that paragraph and we're putting it into those three categories. Now that we put those into the three categories, we do BCR technique. Okay, so we go back into breath work if we need to. We go back into calmness. If we're out of calmness, we go back to the breath. Okay, because it may be an intense situation that you're seeing. Like, oh, okay, just breathe. Just breathe. All right, do some cleansing breaths if you have to. If you feel it's really intense, you felt that there was a lot of viciousness that was happening there, and you're remembering it, it's okay. Just breathe. Right, do your breath work. Deep breath in, out. Okay, if you have to do the cleansing breaths, do the cleansing breaths. Relax yourself. Don't get attached. Okay, you are looking at your situation as an observer, as a journalist. Okay, you are not getting involved. You're not putting your hand in the boiling water. Okay, if we're looking at a pot of boiling water, we're not putting our hand in it. We're just observing that there's a boiling pot of water on the stove. Okay, so that's a very important thing to remember. Don't get involved with your memory dramas, because that's what this is. These are dramas of memory. Okay, they're memories. They cannot hurt you, especially as you become the witness. You're just observing this, no more different than you're observing this broadcast on your screen right now. Okay, you're observing it as a memory. I say this because a lot of people get attached to their dramas, to their memory. It's like, bro, this is horrible. Oh, I can't believe I did this. And they just start freaking out. And I said, stop. Take a deep breath. You are the observer here. You are the witness. You're a journalist. Okay? You are not attaching to that event. You're just witnessing it. Okay? Can you do that for me? Yes. Okay? So I help them to calm down. And to calm yourself down is what? Use the breath. Okay, use the cleansing breath, the phase 1 breath. Okay, calm yourself down and just watch the event, right, when it happens, and just play and just document it as it comes out. You're not attaching to it. Okay, you need to calm yourself down. You have the breath to work with that. All right, and then again, once we have all the information for the three categories, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, now we're doing the BCR technique just as we've done before. Okay, so you're going back into breath work if you're feeling uneasy. Okay, you start with phase 1 and you go to phase 2. Right, so you have the waves. It calms itself down. You're in subtle waves now. You're in subtle calmness. Now we go into reinforcement. Okay, so now you're bringing yourself into reinforcement. You're expanding that love, right? Putting into a ball, put it into the chest. Okay, talking to your love energy entity, if you have one. Okay, otherwise talking to the heart. Okay, so I look in my list here. I got the physical body information, the emotional body information, mental body information. Okay, love energy entity, clear away all anger surrounding this event as I'm now ready to let it go. Let it be done. Okay, and I go down the list, just doing that. So again, when you're working with the love energy and you feel that love energy being active through yourself, you want to feel that softness. Okay, there is a softness and there is a clarity that flows through you when you're going through your reinforcement space, right? You're making the hands larger, you're extending them out as far as you can, and you should be feeling on cloud 9 with that, right? You should be feeling on top of the world. You should be feeling above Mount Olympus with that. As soon as you're there, all of this debris should soften, okay? This is what I need you to do when you're going into the BCR technique. When you're going into BCR, I want you to feel, again, you're on top of the world, you're feeling amazing, and you're now able to clear away all of that solid debris that exists beneath your feet, okay? That's what you're doing. All of this debris has been put up in the air, and it's at your eye level, right? Because you're at the same vibrational level to which it exists. And you're putting all this love energy through your reinforcement space through you, right? You're extending the hands, you're using your gauge. And as soon as you do that, you're up here now. The debris is down here, and you're up here. You're all the way up here. You're up past Mount Olympus, okay? You're past the gods. And now all of this is beneath your feet. So as all of that is beneath your feet, guess what that means? You're able to forgive all of that stuff, okay? That's what it takes. You have to release that debris through the nature of forgiveness, okay? That's what the love energy is doing. It's making you feel lighter than air. You're going up here, and all that debris is down here, right? So when that debris is beneath your feet, it can be cleared. If that debris is still at your eye level, okay, it's still right here, and it's flowing around, etc., etc., you're not ready. You're not at that state. You need to start from BCR technique again. You need to go back to breath work, right? You need to go back to phase 1 breath, phase 2 breath, go back into calmness, go into reinforcement. You do not want your debris up here, okay? We don't want that. We don't want our pain, our emotional anguish, our mental intensities, whatever it may be, cannot be here. Has to go down while you go up, okay? So when you know that that debris is beneath your feet, you are ready to clear it out. So again, that's showing that you're ready to forgive it. You're ready to clear it out, right? And you can mention that in your command. Love energy, I'm ready to forgive this anger I once had. Clear it away. Let it be done, okay? So like I said, your commands are your own. You are creator, right? And really what I'm teaching you guys here is to be very, very self-reliant, okay? You are teaching yourselves how to be reliant and confident, so you don't need to run to another person to get them to help you with this, okay? This is why you're doing the 30-day course here, the 30-day challenge, because it is a course, right? And as you do this, and as you're getting used to it, because like I said, you guys who've been here from the beginning have already been doing this now for 17 days, 18 days if you count day 0, okay? You should be completely well equipped to take care of this, because we're doing the same thing that we've been doing before. Only thing we're doing right now is we're just introducing the memory spiral and just going back deeper into the past. We're clearing out more clutter. So if you've been working with your present self, right, what you're presently going through, physically, emotionally, mentally, great. That's just one pile, okay? And maybe we've shrunken that pile down. Now we turn our head, there's more piles, okay? We got to take care of those piles of debris. Here's some piles when I was a little kid. Here's some piles when I was in my adolescence. Here's some piles when I was in high school. Here's some piles when I was a young adult. Here's a pile when I was with my first girlfriend, etc., right? We're looking at all of these piles. All of them have to go, right? This is where, again, it will take time. This is why you're doing the BCR technique every single day, and you're doing it multiple times per day. That would be my recommendation, especially from this point forward. I would say do it at least twice a day, okay? And you're going in and you're clearing out these piles, right? Like I said, you know that you're getting somewhere when you're up here and your debris is beneath your feet. That's all you got to do. This doesn't hurt when you do the BCR technique. This is liberating you. This is lifting yourself up and you're freeing yourself. You're going to feel weightless. You're not carrying these bags of debris, because that should be a lot more detesting than anything. Who would want to be carrying around all this weight on your body? Why do you do that, right? That doesn't make any sense to keep that around. Why would you? You now have the tool to clear it all out. It feels good to be liberated. It feels amazing to be liberated. It feels wonderful to be liberated. And now you have the tool to do it. Put it to use. Make this more important than anything else in your life right now. And I mean that very literally. This needs to be important more right now than your family. This needs to be more important right now than your career, than your finances, than the entire world. BCR Technique should be number one right now. Because that is, again, you cleaning yourself out. And as we go throughout the next couple of days, like I said, we're going to look into some family scenarios, friendship scenarios, career scenarios, a lot of different scenarios that are examples that we're going into and helping to clear out through the extension healing. Okay, it's still BCR Technique, but we're just doing an extension healing for it. Okay, we're going into our extensions, we're going into our roots. Think of it like a great tree, right? And its roots extend out, and the forest grows through its extensive roots. Well, that's all we're doing, is we're looking at our peripheral roots, our deeper extended roots here, and being able to sanitize them, to clear them out. So that we're taking this old tree that may be withered, and we're making it into a luminous tree of spirit. And that's what you're doing. You are this world tree. And throughout all of your branches becomes the world. So we're looking at those extension roots. We're looking at those branches, and we're cleaning them. All right? So we become this luminous tree of spirit. All right? Okay, guys, I will go ahead now and take a look at any questions if you guys have them in the chat here. Okay. So Tenzin says, spiral is to look to recent past, not childhood, right? No, it's to go back as far as you want. Okay, so you go back as far as you want. Now, when you're going backwards in time, right, you're using your present moment as the center point, and you're going back in time, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. Now you may get something 2 or 3 years ago. Look at that, okay? And you're writing it out, just as I've talked about, and you're putting the information, the data, in the physical, emotional, and mental categories. If you want to go even further back, okay, you're starting off at the year that you ended on, right? So if you went 3 years, okay, now the 3-year point is your starting point. And now you're going back again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going back 5 years. So now I'm in 8 years of my past. The 3 plus the 5 equals the 8 years. Okay, and I can keep going. Right, if I'm 30 years old, I can do this 29 times, right? Going back to about a year old, all right? Maybe I'll go back right to 30, right to when I was born, right back into my mother's womb, right? And maybe I'll find some trauma there, right? A lot of babies are traumatized in regards to how they're born in this world because they were born very unnaturally. You have these doctors and these suits and these scary suits, and everything is, the hospital just looks like a dungeon in its own way. It's very scary for a newborn baby. Why do you think they're crying? They're leaving their home, right? It's a very traumatic event for them, especially with these doctors who don't know how to soothe the child, right? It's a very, very uncomfortable setting. So you're traumatized the moment that you come out of your mom, right? I'm pretty sure we almost all are. I'd say the majority of us certainly are, unless there's, again, some very sacred ceremony happening here, and everything is delicate and everything is coming out peaceful. The baby comes out and not even crying, right? And that could be something that could be a blessing. But I have not met anybody who has gone through that. Okay? So the majority of us have been traumatized since the moment that we were born. Okay? That's the main trauma right there. So that's what we're going back into, and then we're just feeling that. We're just looking at ourselves as a newborn baby, and we're seeing ourselves just, oh my God, I'm leaving paradise. I'm leaving my home. What's going on here? I'm having this guy with a bunch of gloves in his hand and pulling at me and all that stuff. And they're cold, and it's cold in here. It feels awful. Ugh. Right? So it's like you're tapping into yourself as a newborn baby. Right? That is also something that you need to clear. Okay? Because that too is just the beginning of bringing in traumas into your life. So we want to harmonize those traumas as a newborn baby. Very important. Okay? Okay. Yeah, Sensei says, going to take a while to get me back to being a toddler then. Well, like I said, just keep working with the spiral, right? Let the spiral be your guide. Like I said, you're not consciously looking for anything. You're just doing the spiral, and you're just getting that sensation. You're getting a feeling. You're getting a trigger. Tap into that trigger. What's going on? Okay? Talk to the mind. What's going on? What am I seeing here? Why am I triggered? There's an event here. Okay, let's go into that event. Do your best to try and recall that event as it comes out. Just listen to your intuition. Your intuition is giving it to you. Okay, it takes practice, but the more you practice, the more you'll get this. Okay, I was doing this in the past, and I referred to it as spiral akashic viewing, where I'd use a spiral, but I would actually move forward in time, right, to look in the idea of probable events. And some of those probable events did come to pass as well. So this is a similar principle, but I'm referring to it as the memory spiral, okay, because that's just involving yourself and going back into your past, utilizing the spiral as your vehicle, okay? It's your vehicle, and whenever you're feeling that impression, whatever that impression is, go into it, okay? Say, what's going on? I was stopped here for a reason. Spirit, show this to me, okay? And let it come. Just be patient, have confidence in yourself, okay? If you lack confidence, guys, you're not going to get anywhere. Have confidence in yourself, okay? Very, very important. Okay. Yeah, Katie says, I am blessed. I don't know where I learned this, but from a young age, I would look back and forgive. And at each stage of my life, I would look back again and forgive, right? It's a natural tendency that some of us have. We have a natural tendency to forgive because that's our nature of our heart, right? Our heart is very intact in that place, in that state. Okay? So that's good. That's good that you have that natural ability. Some people's hearts have been so dirtied, they have forgotten how to forgive. When you clear the dirt from the heart, forgiveness will just be so natural. It'll be as natural to you as breathing. Like I said, make sure all that debris is beneath your feet. That's how you know you'll be able to forgive it. Okay, if it's still up here, like, oh, I'm still reacting to it. I'm still attached to it. Of course not. You can't do anything. Okay, when your debris is up here, it's these blobs of tar and black goo and all that. You can't do anything. Okay, because you're trying to forgive this from man's energy, and man's energy is pretty much useless when it comes to the BCR technique. Okay, you cannot personally, using your own power, clear that out. Your human power is too weak. So this is why we're working together and going to subtle states, and we're connecting with love. We're connecting with spirit. We're bringing ourselves into spirit. That's what the love energy is signifying here. When you're going into love energy, you are feeling the lightness of spirit with you. The lightness of the creator consciousness, God, right? So now we're rising up and the debris is going down. Why does this happen? Because you're changing frequency. You're moving up. And now you're seeing that debris. That debris is not even actually moving. It just stays stationary where it is. But you're moving up, and it appears like that's moving down. It's because you're getting taller. You're getting larger. You're getting lighter. And you're moving up. And now the debris is all the way down here. It can't touch you. It can't touch you anymore. Because now you are one with spirit. Right? That's what we're doing. You cannot resolve your problems with man's power. Man's power is too weak. Can't do it. Right? Goes back to that quote to what Jesus said. With man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. You have to go into spirit. That's what you're doing with the BCR technique. That's what the love energy represents. Love energy is spirit energy. Okay? And you're lifting yourself up. You're feeling like an angel. You're feeling like God. And now all of that's down here. Good. Now it's so tiny. It's so puny. It's beneath my feet. I can clear it away. I can clear it away. I can clear it away. That's what we do. You are using the power of spirit to cleanse yourself. Cannot do it through your human power, because human power is useless when it comes to this. All right? Human power has no power at all. It's your spirit power. That's where the power truly comes from. To clear it all out, to forgive it, to release it, to let spirit take care of it. Spirit, yep, I completely forgive this. I'm completely clear of it. Take care of it. Let it be done. Great. Now your emotions, through a course of time, start to balance themselves out, start to feel harmonized. Your mental body, again, you're applying actions with that. Start to balance out over time. Your physical body starts to even itself out over time. Because you're working with spirit. You are spirit. That's who you are. You're not a human being. Human being's a canvas, right? It's just an instrument that we're playing with. It's a tool. It's a temple. It's a temple for the Spirit, absolutely. But it's not who you really are. You are Spirit inhabiting this temple. So yes, we want to take good care of it. We want to give it its basic needs. But that's not who we are. We are Spirit. Remember your power that resides within you. That's what's going to make a difference. Okay? Okay. Exactly. Observe it as a journalist. You got it. Right? You're working for the Spirit Press. You have like one of those little hats on that says press on it, right? But just above it, it says Spirit Press. Okay? Here I am with the Spirit Press. What's going on? What's the scoop? Right? Reminds you of like those old journalists from like the 1950s. What's going on here? Come on, licking the pen and start to write everything down. Well, there you go. That's what you're doing. You're a member of the Spirit Press. All right? You're not attaching to the story. You're just listening. You're observing. All right? Okay, guys, we'll wrap it up for today. So tomorrow we're going to go a lot more deeper into extension healing. Okay, we're going to be looking into family scenarios. Again, different scenarios, often relating to, again, our family, friends, extensions, and what we can do to help heal that as well, too, through continued work of the BCR technique. So I'll see you again tomorrow for day number 18. Thank you, everybody. Take care, and may it be well with you. Goodbye for now.